everybody. Welcome to today's edition of the Gamut Network. Look at this beautiful woman we have on the show today. I am so excited to introduce you all to Maria Luisa, who is doing incredible things and has such an interesting story that got her to where she is today that we're going to talk about. So, like we always do, Maria Luisa, welcome to the show. Can you start us off with kind of your personal story?
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Mindy, so much for having me. MIGA Swimwear starts from my personal experience. I was born with a genetic condition that caused me to have a disfigurement in my feet. And so every time when I would go to the pool or to the beach, which was a fair amount because I grew up in Costa Rica, I would feel very self-conscious and just very vulnerable at people looking at my feet and then asking questions like, why does your feet look the way they do? Or like, what happened to your feet? So when I started doing my master's at Central St. Martin's in the UK, I started playing with the idea of creating empowerment garments or swimsuits that would make women feel more comfortable in owning their story, whichever story it is. And I found out that just like, even though my condition is incredibly rare, I was able to relate to a lot of the stories from people who had, changes in their bodies, maybe like a burn scar, or people who had different types of disabilities or chronic illnesses, like having a stoma bag. And so there comes kind of this idea of creating a swimsuit brand that could empower all women to kind of own their body as is currently, and accepting that our bodies change and feeling okay with that. Truly, it was me also seeking for a community of understanding. I'm the only one in my family who has feet like mine. What I have is a very rare condition, and so being able to create a community of women who feel differently for whatever reason. It also doesn't even have to be like disabilities or chronic illnesses. A lot of time when I share my story with people say like, oh, like I always felt uncomfortable about X part of my body or Y. And being able to share that story and get comfortable with our bodies is all about what MIGA Swimwear is.
I love that. So tell me a little bit about the swimwear itself. Is it modified? Is it a little more in the direction of just beautiful swimwear? Tell us a little bit more about the product.
Yeah, absolutely. So our swimwear is not, I would say, not a technical garment. I would describe it more as swimsuits that have been crowd designed. So we work with a community of women that all have very different types of bodies. And they tell us like, this is what I would feel comfortable wearing. These bathing suits, but maybe with this type of seam. For example, the Anna one-piece bathing suit that we currently have online came up from a conversation. A lot of people that have skin conditions that wanted a rash guard, but then offering a rash guard that is long sleeves, provides antibacterial, that is made with antibacterial fabric. And on top of that, because of conversations we had with people who have acne and bursa, they were saying like, please do not add the regular seam. So what we did was a raglan sleeve so that there's no chafing at the armpits. So this is what I mean by crowd design. We have a lot of different people with a lot of different asks that go into our final styles. And ultimately the bathing suits are named after women who we work with in the process that wanted to also share the story as a way of themselves feeling more comfortable in their body that they're in. So
beautiful and so refreshing. I mean, I've, as you know, I come from the fashion industry, and crowd designing, what a revolutionary concept, and certainly something that it definitely plays a role in the world of adaptive. As I always say that there really isn't a designer out there that can design for people with disabilities without including people with disabilities into the process to make the product as authentic as possible. And you're basically doing a similar process in pulling together women that are using their voices to say, this is how I need it. And I'm sure you're realizing that even that one suit of having the raglan sleeve probably helps so many women out there that needed that different type of seaming. So that is so interesting. And how often are you updating the styles? Is it like a new group of women every season? How do you manage that?
Absolutely. So we're always looking for more design muses. Every year we have one collection that goes out. We usually, the collection goes up for sale around November. And we get to work with all women that mostly, to be completely honest, that have just reached out to us. That found us through social media, perhaps a blog we wrote, perhaps like a advertising campaign that we have, and they just reach out to us. Also, we partner with a lot of organizations. In the past, we've worked with Global Genes, Girls with Guts. I mean, these are organizations that are, Global Genes is specific to rare conditions, and Girls with Guts is specific to ostomy, women that have ostomy. So what we were talking about, like through our design process, we make absolutely no assumptions about what women need. So every year we get a new batch of people from the community that want to chime in. I also think it's fantastic when, for example, we create a bathing suit, we put it out there, and then there's all these people contacting us saying like, oh my God, this is what I need for this other condition. So for example, the Lydia adjustable belt was inspired on a woman who had ulcerative colitis. She has an ostomy. She wanted easy access to her stoma bag. And then all of a sudden we're getting people saying like, this is amazing for my feeding tube because it keeps it in place.
Yeah.
We've had people too, because of the long sleeves, like a lot of people with type 1 diabetes that have, technical gadgets, in their bodies that they need to keep close to their body. And they don't want to be worried or concerned that it might move while they're enjoying the beach or the pool. So it's just, honestly, it's just, so as a designer, this is kind of why we're here, right? We're here to be a conduit. We're not here, we're here to kind of take in the ideas from the community and make sure that we can deliver on those while making, again, absolutely no assumptions.
I just think it's so innovative. I think just your whole process of, from beginning to end is incredibly innovative. And I'm also excited to say that you and MIGA Swimwear is going to be in our big show in Miami coming up on March 9th with the global premiere on March 11th. And this will be the first time that we've had swimsuits on the runway. So we are super excited about that. And as you know, all of our models have all different types of disabilities and ages and ethnicities. So we could not be happier that through Zappos Adaptive, we will be able to have your swimsuits on the runway. Is this your first runway show that your suits have been in?
It is. It is. Yes. It is the first time.
Oh my gosh, you should do a big party around the global premiere.
Yes, you totally should.
Gets to see it. We are just so thrilled, and it was just very fortunate that I got to meet you as we were kind of planning all the product that would be on the runway, because I was immediately able to talk to our friends at Zappos and say, we need her suits. Because
it's honestly meant to be.
Absolutely need to be showing their stuff and your beautiful product. Please let everybody know where to go to see the suits.
Absolutely. So you can go to migaswimwear.com. That's where we sell. We also, as you mentioned, we're going to start selling through Zappos. And definitely make sure you follow us on Instagram and TikTok at MIGA Swimwear.
And that's MIGA.
Correct.
Good. Okay, perfect. And I would love everybody to go look at the product, read the stories. It is so amazing and innovative what you're doing. And I usually ask all of our guests one final question, and that's about the notion of a vision board and manifesting what you want to happen in your lifetime. As I usually like to show, I keep my vision board right here that I, have very, very big dreams of being with Ellen and Oprah and Guy Raz on how I built this. And I very much intend to make that happen. If we got to look onto your vision board, what would we see?
Oh my God, this is amazing. I need to get a vision board like that. Well, I think for MIGA Swimwear is going beyond resort wear, going into menswear. And it would also mean showing at New York Fashion Week. It would also mean being able to support more organizations that provide psychosocial adjustments and empowerment for people living with, rare diseases and disabilities. Honestly, like, I also feel like I'm kind of living my vision board.
Keep going.
It's been a full, honestly, like the last 5 years have been a full 180 for me. So, because I used to work in finance. So, yeah, it's honestly like, I think that's kind of what I would think about like for my next 5 years and where we are today.
I love that. And actually, I'm going to throw in one final question.
Go ahead.
Now that you are kind of living your best life, do you think about, because I do in my own journey, do you think about how fortunate you were to have the difference because it opened up a whole world to you? I mean, that's how I feel about having Oliver, that he opened up an entire world to me that I really had no idea existed in the level that I do now. Have you had that kind of aha moment?
Absolutely. I mean, I always tell people like what I do is incredibly selfish. I get to hear and come in touch with and design and meet women who on the daily inspire me to feel more comfortable with my own body. And so it's, like with the whole like body acceptance and self-love and self-acceptance journey, like this is an ongoing process, and doing this for a living reminds me of that. So going from a place of like, if I'm good, then the business is good, and vice versa, making sure that I am keeping myself healthy and just, like being really self-aware, I think is the word. And so, yes, absolutely.
I love that. What a perfect way to end the show. What a joy it was to speak with you. You are an absolute vision of sunshine. Truly.
Thank you so much.
I love what you're doing. Keep going. I can't wait to have the product on the runway and support you. And I just think you're just amazing.
Thank you so much, Mindy. That really means a lot to me. And goes to show the importance of having people like you who started in this sector and, are kind of being such a beautiful platform for up and coming designers like us. So thank you so much for the opportunity.
It is beyond, I'm humbled, and it is absolutely the greatest part of what I'm doing is to be able to meet and support designers like you. So thank you so much. And just a reminder, everybody, please go to migaswimwear.com and also soon to be on Zappos and soon to be everywhere, to be honest with you.
Thank you.
If you would like to be on the Gamut Network, please email us at talent@gamutmanagement.com to tell us why you'd be a great guest. Please also don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Gamut Network, as well as follow us on social media at Gamut Management. Thank you again.
Thank you so much.
Bye.